All right, welcome, Coach Irving. From the University of Albany. Super pumped to have you here. This is something we've really been looking forward to. So appreciate you taking some of your time out of your busy day. If you can start just by introducing yourself a little bit, some of the experiences you've had and how you've ended up to where you are today.
All right, so I'm Rich Irving. I'm a strength and conditioning coach here at the University at Albany. Going into my 5th season here at the university. I'm originally from the Poconos in Pennsylvania, where I got my bachelor's and master's degree in exercise science at East Stroudsburg University. Played football there. During my bachelor's, I interned at the University of Lehigh. Did an internship with Eric Marcosi and his staff there. He did a great job teaching me some of the ins and outs of strength and conditioning and kind of how he runs his program. And then from there, while I was at East Stroudsburg, I got a GA and worked as a graduate assistant at a local high school. We had a contract with a high school that we would send some of our graduate assistants over there, and we would run the whole program. So I got to have some hands-on experience there, running the entire program at East Stroudsburg North High School. Worked a bunch of different sports there, so got some experience doing that. And then from there, I got an internship at Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame. So I went over to South Bend, did an internship there for 4 months, learned a ton under Coach Tony Rolinski, Caitlin Sweeney, and her staff. So they did a great job with their internship program and teaching us how they run their program. And then from there, did another internship at Mississippi State University. That one was just football. So I got to kind of see the Olympic side at Notre Dame, and then working with Nick Savage, Zach Ackenberger, and their staff at Mississippi State, who are now at the University of Florida. So got to see kind of how they run their program, and then from there kind of molded my coaching philosophy to how it fit best here at the University at Albany once I got hired here right after I was at Mississippi State. So I've kind of been learning from a lot of different coaches and been blessed to have we have 4 full-time coaches here at the University at Albany. So I've been blessed to learn from some great coaches here as well, and kind of mold my coaching philosophy how I see fit with my teams, which has been a great experience for me. So appreciate you having me on.
No, of course. Yeah, I think it's definitely awesome. Sounds like you've had a pretty diverse experience coming up through the field and just being able to learn under some really awesome names. So getting a little bit more into your interns at Albany, could you just tell us a little bit about maybe what their daily schedule and weekly schedule looks like and some of the things that you expect them to do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our internship program, kind of how it works, we have 18 sports here. So during the spring and fall semesters, it's obviously pretty busy, and we have like I said, 4 full-time strength coaches. So we treat our interns how we would treat our full-time staff. So I expect them to be here for as many groups as possible. I understand that there's conflicts and things like that come up, but we want them to get the full experience of what it is like being a collegiate strength and conditioning coach. So it's long days, early mornings, late afternoons sometimes, but as soon as the groups are done, we clean up for the day, we meet for the next day, and we get out. So I'm trying to make sure that everyone does their job as efficiently as possible. So when we're here, we're working, and when you're not here, I want you to take care of your business outside.
Yeah, for sure. I think long days and early mornings are something all of us can relate to, and they're not that bad once you get in the hang of it, but it's definitely at the start. Going a little bit into like the curriculum that you actually teach your interns, what are some of the big key concepts you really want them walking away with after the semester's over?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest thing for us, and what I stress to all of our interns, is when you are here, you're going to get some real hands-on experience. I want our interns to coach, and I'm going to teach them the basics and how we run our program and what we kind of expect our athletes to look like and our programs to look like. But I want them to be another set of eyes on the floor and coaching. Obviously, there's only one of me. There's only 4 full-time coaches here. So we expect them to be on the floor, attending every lift that they can and coaching our athletes first and foremost. And then from there, the curriculum. So they'll have a semester-long project that we do. And basically, we'll take them through a mock macro cycle of a sport of their choice at the University of Albany, and they're in charge. So they can run the program however they want. And each week we break it down a little bit further. So we'll go over a year-long macro cycle and then kind of break it down into a 4-week program, and they have volumes and intensities in, sets and reps, conditioning, speed work, all that stuff, how they see fit for whatever time of the year we're going over. And we'll sit down as a staff and we'll say, hey, why are you doing this? Why do your sets and reps look like this? Because obviously, as we know in our field, the most important thing is why. There's so many different ways to do this. But if you don't have a why for your program, then it's tough to defend that to a sport coach when you're going into a meeting with them and saying, hey, this is what I plan to do with your team. And you don't have a reason why you want to do it just because you saw it on an Instagram or something like that.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I think that's something that being an ex-phys major in my undergrad, I think that's a big piece that's kind of missing. And like that hands-on thing, like you say, a lot of coaches are going to ask you why. And they don't talk about it a lot in the educational system, but that's super awesome. You guys really emphasize that. Thinking back over the years on just any really successful former interns that you had and what made them so successful in their time at Albany, and why do you think they fit in so well with the staff?
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously first and foremost, you got to work hard and you got to want to be here and want to learn. If you are not doing that in this field, you're in the wrong field, because there's way too many people out there that are willing to do things that are uncomfortable. So right then and there, if you aren't working hard and attentive and asking questions all the time, it's going to be really hard to stand out in this field. That's one thing that I really stress to all of our interns, and we've had a great group of interns that's come in the past that they just ask questions, and they are a fly on the wall, and they ask questions at the right times to make sure that they understand it, because there's a lot of things happening and there's a lot of bullets flying once you're on the floor, and we got 35 athletes doing this, that, and the other. But it's really important to understand what's happening at a certain time. So that way you're not just standing there coaching it, because as we know, training with intent is really, really important. So if we're not being able to coach with intent, then our athletes are going to fall behind as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's such a good point. I think just knowing, being an athlete myself, like I look up so much to my coaches and everything they tell me, like in the heat of the moment when I just ran like 5 300s and I can't think straight, I'm going to listen to anything that they say. So looking at your interns coming forward, what are some, I know you touched on it a little bit, what really made them successful in the past, but if you had to put the picture perfect intern together, what are some qualities you'd really want them to have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously just hardworking and willing to do things that others aren't is going to help you stand out from the beginning. And then just making sure that you're staying on top of things that no one else really notices, and always staying one step ahead of everything. So again, we will meet as a staff all the time, just to go over the workouts beforehand and the training sessions beforehand, and making sure everyone's on the same page. So as an intern, especially, if you stay one step ahead of everything to make sure that your responsibilities are good to go, I think that really helps set the tone for the workout and helps it flow really nicely.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking some time today with us, Coach. And obviously for all of you watching, you can learn more about Coach Irving and his experience and your opportunities at the University of Albany below. Link in this video and also below on this page. So thanks, Coach, for taking some time to be with us. Do you have any final comments that you want to tell the interns watching this video?
I'd like to just touch on our 4 full-time strength coaches, just because obviously I'm on the call right now, but Tony Tulloch actually runs the strength and conditioning department. He's been here for about 20 years. So he knows this place like nobody else. He's seen a lot of stuff at the University of Albany, and kind of the transformation that we have gone through as a program, going from Division III to Division I. So he's been here for a long time. And then Matt Barber is the head football strength and conditioning coach. He's been here for 5 years. He does a great job with football, and really a great job with our intern program as well. Everyone helps a lot. And then Rachel Jones, our other assistant, she's awesome. She runs a lot of different teams. So we have a great group of strength and conditioning coaches here. And we all have different backgrounds and things like that, but we work really well together. So that's one of the things that separates the University of Albany, I think, is just the people in general. So we have a great group of people, a great staff. So looking forward to anyone that wants to come along for the ride.